If you, like me and many others, have been paying attention to the anime and manga scene recently, then you've likely heard of the anime Mashle Magic and Muscles. If you haven't read the manga or seen the anime, then this video is perfect for you, because by the end of this video, I guarantee you'll be saying, I have got to check this out. Let's begin. The premise for Mashle Magic and Muscles is one that we've seen all too many times before, and things like Harry Potter and Harry Potter and I'm not even joking, guys. I don't know how the creator of this manga hasn't gotten sued by J.K. Rowling yet. They've got literally everything from Harry Potter. They've got a weird chosen one type of kid with a lightning bolt on his face. They've got Quidditch, but it's called Duello. They've got Draco Malfoy and his henchmen. They've got Dumbledore. They've even got Neville Longbottom. Well, sort of. And that's just the start. Anyways, you guys get the gist of what I'm trying to say, but Mashle Magic and Muscles doesn't just take tropes that we've seen before and run with them. No. It evolves them and plays with them in new and exciting ways that personally I feel like I haven't seen in a long time. Now, are there typical tropes that we see in almost every one of these chosen one-esque stories? Yes, absolutely. But I would be remiss if I didn't argue that Mashle does things in a way that simply feels refreshing. To do that, I think it would be best if we dove into some of the main characters that we meet throughout the first couple episodes of this season. Obviously, we've got to start with Mash Burnedead. He's not that bright, but good God, can he lift weights. In episode 1, we literally see this kid repping like 500 pounds on a bench like it's nothing. Mash serves as a sort of absurdist character, one that through pure physical strength seems to able to at times outdo his magic wielding counterparts. He's really an interesting character, and when we combine his strength with his lackadaisical attitude towards nearly everything, it makes for some exceptionally funny and entertaining moments. We then turn to Finn Ames. Finn is Mash's first year roommate, and in terms of Harry Potter, he most closely resembles Neville Longbottom. Essentially unable to stand up for himself, but you always cheer for the guy, as I know many of us did when it came to Neville in that franchise. Finn and Mash don't really get along that well for the first 2 episodes, but after that they're nearly inseparable. Though I'm not fully caught up with Mashle Magic and Muscles, I wouldn't be surprised at all if Mash and Finn end up becoming a sort of dynamic duo. Along with Finn and Mash, we have Dot Barrett, who serves as a sort of comic relief character. He's an exceptionally interesting character, and I really like him at this point in the series. He's definitely a bit more of a hothead than the other two, but he definitely adds a bit of comic relief, and I very much have enjoyed being able to watch him so far in the show. The side cast, though, is in my opinion what really makes this show so great to watch. We have Tom Knowles, who's the head captain of the Duello or Quidditch team for Mash's house, and is a sort of motivating force for Mash. During the first Duello game, you know, he falls off his broom and Mash feels like he's defeated, you know, Mash can't fly himself. And even though Tom's been knocked onto the ground, he still motivates Mash to get up and go out there and try his best. He's definitely a nice character and a kind of breath of fresh air around some of the other characters in the show. We also have Lemon Irvine, who's another first year with Mash in the same house, and Mash helps her during the entrance exams, and she becomes a love interest early on in the series. And in the outro of the series, we can actually see her sleeping with like a little stuffed Mash animal thing. It's very cute, definitely the love interest early on. We also have Lance Crown, who's an exceptionally interesting character for a number of reasons.
しすこんだ。つまりこの世で一番尊いものと俺の妹だ。
Yeah, definitely a bit of a weirdo, but you know, he's also a side character that is there with Mash and Dot and everyone else. He actually is kind of on Mash's side without even realizing it, as Mash doesn't have magic, and Lance's younger sister has a curse that means that her magic mark is essentially going to fade away over time, which means that she's eventually going to be taken away by the Bureau of Magic. And he doesn't want that to happen. He wants to become a divine visionary so that he can change that, which means that Lance unknowingly early on is actually on Mash's side. This world has a really stacked cast of characters with an exceptionally interesting overarching world and society, and to me it's no wonder why Mashle Magic and Muscles is one of the highest rated shows on Crunchyroll for the spring and early summer anime season. I would definitely recommend you guys go ahead and watch it. I've been watching it as the English dub has come out, and then I was like, screw this, I need to catch all the way up. So I started watching the sub, both of which are phenomenal, by the way. I just wanted to see if the dub would be any good. That's why I waited for it. I would 100% recommend that you guys go and check this out. It has definitely been enjoyable to watch so far, and I have really enjoyed everything that we've gotten to see with Mash, with his dad. There's other characters as well. There's the police force. There's a police officer that kind of makes him enroll into the magic high school, as you know, he wants to become powerful himself, that police officer. So there's a lot of different stuff going on. Along with that, I don't even need to mention I think the villains of this series are very, very interesting. As I previously mentioned, there are houses, and there is essentially like a house Slytherin that is kind of like the bad guys at this point where I'm at least in the series. I think it definitely makes for an interesting overarching idea that people within your own society that are supposed to be helping you, you know, would be bad. But I definitely think it adds an interesting twist. My one concern with this show, I will say, I'm interested to see how they make it different than something like Black Clover. As we all know, Black Clover has been, you know, recently coming out, just had a movie, and I believe they're picking the anime up again, which is very exciting. And I think the manga is going to be finished at some point. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm very interested to see how they make it different than Black Clover in the long run, and also how they make it different than Harry Potter. That's another thing that is, I mean, from a like litigation and legal standpoint, definitely interesting. But I think that if you are a fan of Harry Potter or a fan of fantasy, if you're a fan of like fantasy isekai, I think that this is definitely an interesting one. I'm not the biggest fan of isekai, and this isn't like a traditional isekai or an isekai really at all, but I would definitely recommend it for those people that do like, you know, a ReZero or something like that. Just a little bit more lighthearted than that, you know. But there we have it. Definitely go check it out, guys. I hope you all did enjoy this video. If you did, please drop a like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you guys want to see next. I believe I should have a Chainsaw Man video coming out pretty soon. Probably the next Fire Punch video as well. Very excited for those two. There we have it. Love you all. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.